as well. The top three, none of them had a win, and it's lights out and away we go. And it looks like it's a good start from Morgan, but even better start from Blake. He's going to try and go around the outside of turn one, and Gibbo trying to go down the inside of turn one. So Morgan on the hards has gone for the harder strategy, and it looks like he's going to be immediately attacked, and Rowley's going to move up into P3. It looked like they were going to go side by side up there, but Blakey getting a brilliant run out of Randillion, and is now going to be attacking Morgan into turn one. Side by side between Blakey and Morgan. Can they keep it clean? Looks like Blakey's far enough ahead to take the lead of this race. And Rowley's going to try and get down the inside of Morgan as well. Morgan holds on to the position for now. Forces Rowley onto the curb there. Gibber still looking for a way past. And whilst these guys are fighting, Blakey is trying to pull away now. Obviously on the medium compound, he's got to try and do what he can. That was crucial for him. As Guesty and Ross have had an issue as they're further down the back of the grid. And what a lap bomb we've had. Blakey up to the lead. Looking to take the RRPC's first win. On board of Morgan. Obviously struggling to get some heat into them tyres. He's got a very hungry Rowley and Gibbo on his back. And he only has a hungry Rowley on his back now as Gibbo goes into a spin and falls right down the order. Not ideal for a lap one extravaganza. So Engineers and Reeby both doing well. Both drivers in the top 5 for them. Morgan P2, Jackson P4, Rowley P3, Savage now gone down to P6. Right as I said that. We get to see what all the drivers are on now. So everyone's on the mediums except for Morgan, Dickerson and Becker on the hards. We'll have to see if that comes into play. If there's an early safety car, it will help the medium runners out. If there's a late safety car, it'll probably help out the hard runners. Meanwhile, Hamilton is making his way up the grid. He's up into P11 now. Obviously started right at the rear of the pack. He's making his way through. His teammates now at the rear of the pack. Got a bit of a swap and needs to get by. Vernon Higgs managed to get the position back. Don't know if Hamilton's going to be able to get by. Actually, looks like Vernon Higgs going for the move on Pavey. And Hamilton's capitalised on the Vernon getting compromised on the exit. So Hamilton now up into P10 again. And, oh, that's a Red Bull that's gone for a spin. I'm not sure if it's Hamilton having a collision with him, but Hamilton has lost a position to Vernon Higgs. Vernon's up into P9 now as Pavey falls down the order. That's unfortunate as he was running rather well. So Lee obviously starting P11 up into P5 now and trying to join the back of the pack. That Blakey's almost broken DRS, so DRS isn't activated until lap 3. And if any chance to break DRS is this circuit. And we're on board with Vernon as he goes for a spin. The same corner at Gibbon. So it's taken another car. Got on board with Rowley in P3. As Schramper gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's not what you want on lap 2. But it's still running well. But we're feeling the pressure now as Hamilton is right on the back of him in that gearbox. Looks to go for a late move on Schramper. Gets it done, and Hamilton's now up into P8. Right before the DRS zone as well. Driver does have DRS's Rowley, and Rowley's now got the move done on Morgan, just about. Rowley now up into P2 and prepared to hunt down Blakey. And there's been some movement between Hamilton and Schramper. Schramper tried to come right back in Hamilton, and that was because he had that had the DRS, so he could come back at him. You can actually see that Schramper's missing an end plate, so that's going to be affecting his downforce going around these corners and be a bit slower. And I won't be surprised to see Hamilton start pulling away and start to experience a bit of pressure from Dickerson. Dickerson's running well. Him and Beck both on the hard compound. Obviously, Beck's actually falling down the grid. I don't know when that happened, but they're both on the hard compound, and it is the alternative strategy. And as long as there's an early safety car, it is a good strategy to be on. Gibber and Banyard trading positions. The Banyard gets a bit wide at Puon, and it looks like Banyard's teammate Vernon Higgs is going to come at him as well. And yeah, there's a swap positions there between the AGC. I think it was more tactical, if anything. And now Dickerson is on the back of Schramper. Signal the medical service. Who's going to come out on top? As Rowley sets the fastest lap of the race and is hunting down Blakey. And oh, that's a deep move from Beck there to try and go round the outside of turn 18. Doesn't pull it off though. That's right, Hayes on his debut back. Isn't doing too bad. Sitting P12 at the moment. He actually got a win in it into service in the last race last year. So, you know, he's no stranger to wins. He's currently sitting in P12. He could be a, you know, a bit of a dark horse. And Dickerson's not had a good exit out of Eau Rouge, and Beck's all over the back of him. But Dickerson's going to go and get the move done on Schramper before that happens. And it's not giving us the best camera angle here, but Dickerson has moved up into P9, and now Schramper's under attack from Beck as well. As we've had our first retirement of the session, that is Guesty. He's retired from the session. That's caused a safety car, so an early safety car. Now, will the medium runners box for hards? Has this screwed over the hard runners, or is it too early to box for hards? This track is an absolute killer on tyres, so that remains to be seen. Currently, biggest winners at the moment is Remy and Engineers and Infantry. All those teams have got both their drivers into the points. Yeah, the safety car is coming in this lap. And Blakey's going to get us underway after the first safety car today. It only took 4 laps for a safety car to come out. But it didn't seem like a massive collision. It seemed like it was just a car at the back of the pack that spun out and hit the wall. So wait and see when he goes. I don't know if he's gone now. He's very fast at the moment, but that safety car is not in the pits yet. So maybe he's got a little bit too early there on the safety car restart. Has it got out? I mean, the safety car still needs to come into the pit lane line, as Greeno's got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Hamilton on the field, and Greeno's coming into the pits now, it seems like, so that collision is pretty bad. Blakey has a decent safety car restart, but Rowley's all over the back of him, and so much at the back of him. He's going to go side by side going into Eau Rouge. Blakey stays ahead for now, but he's got Rowley right behind him. Rowley goes to do a spin and makes contact with the wall, and it's all kicked off at the safety car restart, as Jackson's also out of the session. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be another safety car. The Eau Rouge, maybe a couple of drivers' tyres are a bit cold, and that's Rowley falling right down the grid, and I think that all but settles it. I think Darvill is going to be our driver's champion. There's been no safety car, despite Jackson's retirement, and they're still underway, and I feel like it's definitely going to be a pit stop for Rowley. But Blakey with a dream restart, and Lee's actually managed to get a jump on Morgan as well. So Lee's up into P2 now and hunting down Blakey. Lee's also another driver hunting for his first win. Almost got it last time out. And yeah, but he's still got Morgan all over the back of him. Obviously, it's going to be another 2 laps until DRS is activated. That safety car restarts the DRS activation line. So Greeno now box to the hards, going to the end on that tyre. Pavey, Schramper also looking to go to the end of the hard compound. But Morgan, if Morgan can stay with Lee, that'll be a relatively good result. There's been movement further down the field between Schramper and Hayes, and the Hayes is now boxing, and there's a car facing the wrong direction. That was Cross in the bus stop to the final chicane. Hayes Blinks first decides to box up those mediums and put on the hard compound. Rowley also in the pit, so maybe those drivers all got wing damage. I'm not entirely sure why Hayes is boxed. It looks like he also had front wing damage, so all those drivers suffering from something across the air with no front wing at all. Back on board of our front three, and Lee is still within a second of Blakey. As Beck and Savage move positions, Savage down to P6, Beck up to P5. Beck now on the charge. On board with Schramper, who's sitting behind Banyard at the moment. Banyard running in 10th place in the points. AGC goes a bit wide at Puon. And Schramper's going to come down inside, and they have a collision, and we got on board with Schramper right as he crashes out of the race. A little tap between the two drivers. And that has caused a safety car. And now I expect all the medium runners to box now. But there's our reigning champ, Hamilton. He's won the last two races. Can he make it 3 in a row? He's got his teammate right behind, so despite Hamilton DNFing from qualifying, and despite Gibbo having that spin at turn 15 on lap 2. Lap 1? Lap 2. I think it was lap 1. They're up into 5th and 6th. And they'll be looking to make their way up the field. They're back on board with Beck. As Beck's going to get us back underway. The safety car is in the pit entry now. It's about across the pit lane line now. It's now across the pit lane line. So anytime now Beck can get us back underway. He'll be going right out of bus stop. He won't be going slow through here. Or will he? That wasn't as fast as I thought it was going to be. But maybe it's a traction. It looks like Lee looking to go for a move into turn 1 on Blakey. And he does. It was a relatively late move, but he's got it done. Later braking favours Lee, but I think Lee was probably getting pressured a little bit by Morgan from behind. And now going up Eau Rouge. It looks cleaner than last time. Looks like the RLC were actually caught out a little bit there. The Hamilton with a big gap as Banyard gets a 3-second time penalty, probably for going over the curb at Randillion. And getting this helicopter view right now. So Blakey can see Morgan bearing down on him on the softer compound. Almost goes into the rear at turn 8. But with the extra traction, he just wants to get by as soon as possible. Get out of Blakey's dirty air. But now is the time they want to be using this medium compound. So Dickerson, Morgan will be using this medium compound. As Blakey crucially gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And it's not ideal. Because now, even though you're racing for position, you've got to then get a 3-second time penalty. So it does not look like Blakey's going to get the win here today, despite running in P3. It looks like it's going to go the way of either Lee or Morgan. As Lee's right on the back of Beck. But Blakey has not given up on this podium. It'd be why it's Greeno 13th. It'd be why it isn't Greeno 13th. That'd be the case. Oh, and that's Morgan going into the back of Blakey there. Luckily, Blakey was able to keep it stable. And it looks like it was a driver falling down the order a bit there. Looks like that's Banyard. Despite the contact, they haven't really lost a lot of time. So Morgan maybe just getting a little bit desperate, end up going into the back of Blakey. Now I have to see if they can get the move done. But it looks more like Lee's going to get the move done on Beck. Obviously no DRS yet. DRS won't be activated until next lap. And these top 6 all staying with each other. They've got a bit of a gap to P7 behind. And P7 behind, you've got Dickerson going for the move on Pavey now. And Dickerson's up at the P7. Pavey down to P8 with Vernon on looking for a bit of vengeance after spinning early on. And he has got Savage behind as well. So that top 10, you know, they've got a bit of breathing room to the next closest car. Which is Greeno, who's now up into 11th. Rowley is right behind Greeno. On this sort of rear pack. All drivers that have had issues at some point or another. And Greeno all over the place going through that, going through Puon. Rowley trying to go around the outside of turn 12. And gets the move done on Greeno. Pavey is falling down the order. Looks like he's had another spin. That's on turn 14. The Savage now up at a P9. And Blakey. Oh, it's Lee attacking Lee attacking Beck. And Blakey looking to get involved as well. So Beck on the old hard tyres now. He's going to have to box for medium soon. But he's going long, and that's Morgan going for a move there. That Blakey really shut the door in front of. And now Morgan's going to get attacked by the reigning champ Hamilton. With DRS activated, can Lee get the move done? He's got the DRS. Oh, absolutely. There's going to be no stopping this. Beck goes defensive. But Lee with the DRS is going to go down the inside of turn 5. Can he hang in there? Beck does well to hang on there. Lee has to take to the runoff, but Lee sticks it in there through turn 7. Beck forces out onto the curb, and they're still fighting as Morgan gets a 3-second time penalty as well. Ay, ay, ay. So if Lee can just keep it there, he'll be happy, but he's getting a bit feisty with Beck right now. Lee stays P2, Beck still in P1, and it's a bit of a truly train behind Beck now. All the way down to Gibbo in P6. This is getting spicy. So Morgan doing what he can to try and get by. Blake has actually gone down to P5. So at some point involved in that, Blake actually lost out to Morgan and Hamilton. And we go down this long back straight again. Doesn't look like anyone was close enough to go for a dive into bus stop, but also you'd be foolish to. I feel like Lee is just going to go for another attempt on the long straight. But Morgan may feel like trying to dive bomb into turn 1. He already tried it once on Blakey. Will he try it on Lee? Not this time. And Hamilton looking for his 3rd win in a row. Just sitting back and watching the carnage unfold in front of him. And it looks like Beck's going to be able to do nothing from this time. Lee is going to get the move done. It's a matter of when, not if. And he goes defensive, but Lee with a DRS and the ERS. Beck's still hanging on in there, you know. Must be relatively low wings, but Lee gets the move done. Is Beck going to go for it on the cutback? No, Lee has finally got that move done. But he gets all out of shape, and Beck's going to go back at him into turn 8. And he goes down the inside, big dive. Bit of contact. The Ferrari goes spinning and has a collision with Morgan. Lee comes out in front, but the drivers are about 3 wide back there. And it's the RLC, Hamilton and Gibber that have picked up any scraps. As Hamilton's now moved up into P2, is actually battling Morgan. Morgan goes wide on Puon, and Gibbo gets by as well, and a little bit of someone's front wing is just flung off through Puon. That looks like the end plate of Morgan. So the ambitious dive from Beck there has inadvertently led to Morgan getting involved in a collision that he just couldn't get out of the way of. And the yellow flag in sector 3, and that's Gibbo falling right down the order, and it looks like he's got no front wing left if that debris on the side of the road is anything to go by. And Lee is now getting us underway on the safety car restart. Gets away fairly well, to be honest with you. Savage as well. I'm not sure if Savage is going to play the team game here and sort of compromise Vernon so that Rowley can get by. But it doesn't seem like... Seems like Savage and Vernon and the back go side by side up Eau Rouge. But Savage is going to have to get out of the way now as his teammate Rowley's coming by. That'll be team orders there, being like, oh, there's Rowley almost on the grass. So he's not heating up those tyres. It's going to be Rowley up at a P4 now. Now Vernon and Rowley trying to hunt down Hamilton and Lee as Dickerson and Greeno swapping positions. Greeno on the soft compound, absolutely flying up into P6. And slightly further down, it's Beck and Gibbo. Almost side by side to turn 8. Beck, I think, gives more room than what he should have. And allows Gibbo down the inside of turn 8. And Gibbo now up at the P8 at turn 8. Further down the order, it's Hayes trying to make moves on the soft compounds. These soft compound runners making moves, and they will do for about 2 or 3 laps, and then it'll just absolutely drop off. Hayes is right behind Banyard right now, who's looking for his first point of the season in P10. And it's Hayes going side by side with Pavey. Pavey does well to get the move done up into P11. But Hayes wants to come back at him. So Lee's absolutely shot off up the road. Hamilton can't stay with him. The gap's 2 seconds now. And Rowley now looking to get the move done on Vernon. And it looks like he's going to go for the lunge at the bus stop. Brakes later. And that was a pretty nice move. Obviously no DRS yet. And that's Dickerson falling down the order. And Greeno, sorry, it's Beck having a bit of a swipe with Gibbo. He goes down to P9. Looks like it's going to come straight back at Dickerson. Retake that position. Dickerson down to P9 now. Beck up to P8. And there's a train going on behind. That's Morgan going really wide at turn 1 there. He's going to come back on, watch the bump. And it's Morgan and Blakey still battling. These two have had, obviously, the collision by the safety car and the battles earlier on in the race as well. Battling all the way from the start. Blakey right behind Court. And he's going to get the move done on the straight, it seems like. Despite Court being on the soft compound. And Court stays ahead for now. And Blakey... Well, I say that. I think... Who did I see going backwards? It was Banyard. And Banyard's retired from the session. Hopefully this doesn't call another safety car. And it does. Oh, so we get one more safety car. So Lee will be furious about that. Let's let the safety car come into the pits. He is fairly close. I reckon he'll be going out of bus stop. Unless that's him just gone now. He's actually gone earlier. And maybe caught Hamilton sleeping a bit. And Hamilton's going to be all under pressure from Rowley. Is out of bus stop. Rowley's all over the back of him. The gap was less than 0.2 of a second. He's going to go for it into turn 1. And Hamilton's not even going to defend it. It seemed like there was nothing he could do to Rowley. And now Rowley has got to hunt down Lee for this win. 2 laps remaining. The gap about 2 seconds. Can he do it? Further down the grid, Morgan and Court trade in positions. And it is all or nothing now. But Rowley's just... at least he's got such a big gap. And in 2 laps... It's a long lap, I understand. But 2 laps... Those mediums we get, and tell you what we're getting. I'm seeing light spits of rain, so there's going to be some light spitting for these last 2 laps. We've got on so many safety cars that the rain has come out now. I think all the drivers are hoping to avoid it, and this may start scaring a couple of drivers on track. I am seeing drops. It won't be too bad this lap, but might start to get a bit worse next lap. Further down the grid, Blakey has got past Court. So has Morgan. But Court's got back past Blakey into Puon. Greeno and Gibbo trading positions. And Gibbo picks up a 3-second time penalty. Crucially, that may take him outside of the points as Greeno moves up into P6 now. Obviously, Savage doing what he can to try and pull away. And Gibbo right on the back of Greeno. He wants to take that position right back. And Rowley's got the gap down to 0.7 of a second. And it is so close now. Rowley's getting so much closer. He goes very deep into that corner as Blakey retires from the session at turn 15. takes another victim. And Hamilton's getting all out of shape there. And Vernon's looking to get his first podium. And Savage falls right down the order. It seems like he's got a spin there. But he stayed in P9. Looks like a collision with Greeno, maybe. As he also drops outside of the points. I did say there'd be a spinner inside the top 10. And we had 2 then. And the position's trading all over the field now. As Beck gets by Gibbo as well. And Rowley, obviously no DRS. If he wants to get this move done, he's got to do it on track. And the conditions are so wet now. Will Rowley be able to do it? Or can Lee hold on? As Lee's almost going sideways coming out of turn 6. And it's going so... Rowley's trying to go down the inside of turn 8. He can't get a move done there. He's going to go for the cutback. And now Lee's all over the road. It is so wet out on track. And all the drivers just changing positions. And so many drivers struggling. Can Rowley with the superior traction get it done through P1? Obviously on the softer compound. Through turn 11 he can't get it done. But he's in the gearbox. And that is a Ferrari. That is Greeno spun out. And behind him, Lee goes wide of the Greeno. Rowley goes off. So Lee was having a bit of a moment and Rowley's gone off. And now he's going to be getting attacked by Hamilton. But he's taken second place on fastest lap. But it's just not going to be enough. It won't be enough and Lee's going to take his first win. But it's all about the final position. And Vernon goes for a spin. It goes into Hamilton at turn 15 and Gibbo now goes past the P4. Hamilton's still driving. Vernon falls down the order, but Hamilton's got no wing, but he's going to take it and just take whatever points he can. And further down, that's a Pavey having a spin. The wet conditions, absolute. Everyone is going everywhere. And Dickerson now with no wing in P6 trying to take it home. Lee's going to come across the line for the win of the race. And that's Beck spinning as well from P3. Rowley's going to take P2. It won't be enough. Beck takes P3. What, wait, does he? He doesn't. Hamilton takes P3. Give him P4. Beck P5. Savage P6. Oh, Savage not P6. Dickerson P6. Savage P7. Morgan P8. Pavey P9. Court P10. And then finally, Vernon and P11. Absolute madness at the end of that race there. Absolute scenes. We'll have to wait for the stewards' inquiries to find out exactly what happened between all the drivers. And who's getting what as a punishment. I wouldn't want to be the steward. Unfortunately, I am the steward, so I'll have to have to inspect what's going on after the race. But at the moment, it seems like Darvill is the driver's champion. And for now, that's what we're going to say. So after 13 rounds, Darvill takes the driver's championship win. Rowley did all he could. And maybe just pushed a little bit too hard after seeing Lee have that slight issue.